All right, this is a Fox News alert. President Trump is back at the White House tonight after a historic weekend from his command center at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. Thanks to this president, the skill, the bravery, the sacrifice from America's service members. The world's #1 state sponsor of terror is getting dismantled right before our very eyes. It is history in the making. This is the very same regime that tried to assassinate President Trump not once but twice. They have now lost their supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, and almost everyone else in his inner circle, 40 total. Trump told ABC, quote, "I got him before he got me. They tried twice. I got him first." Here with more on what led up to this Operation Epic Fury, our special envoy to the Middle East, friend of the program, Steve Witkoff, is with us. All right, you're in the room with these negotiators, and I know you. You are a deal maker. The president wanted a deal. You had a lot of latitude in that room. Bring us inside that room.
First of all, Sean, thanks. Good night, good evening, and thanks for having me. So just to give you a little bit of a taste for how these three days of negotiations went, 3 separate times, Jared and I opened up with the Iranian negotiators telling us they had the inalienable right to enrich all their nuclear fuel that they possessed. That's how they opened up. We, of course, responded that the president feels we have the inalienable right to stop you dead in your tracks. They then went on to say that beyond the inalienable right to enrich, that was going to be their starting point. And Jared and I just sort of looked at ourselves flummoxed and said, well, we're really in for it now.
Well, let me get a little in the weeds if we can. My understanding was you got to a point where you were discussing enriched uranium at very low levels for civilian purposes, although I don't think they really need it because they have all the energy they'd ever want. But did that come up? Was that offer made to them?
We discussed with them 10 years of no enrichment whatsoever, and we would pay for the fuel, and it was flatly rejected. And the president sent us in there to have a good faith negotiation. Pardon me?
You're saying that we would give it to them? And they rejected that?
We actually had that, and they rejected that, which told us at that very moment that they had no notion of doing anything other than retaining enrichment for the purpose of weaponizing.
You made a statement last week, and when I heard it, and I've known you for a long time, and you are a friend, and when you made the statement that, in fact, they may be a week away from possibly having capability, at that moment, I interpreted that to mean it's go time, it's over. Was I wrong? Was that the moment that it was over?
Well, I don't know if that exact moment it was over, but I know this. They have 10,000, roughly, kilograms of fissionable material. That's broken up into roughly 460 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium, another 1,000 kilograms of 20% enriched uranium, and the balance is at 3.67. They manufacture their own centrifuges to enrich this material. So there's almost no stopping them. They have an endless supply of it. The 60% material, Sean, can be brought to 90%. That's weapons grade, in roughly 1 week, maybe 10 days at the outside. The 20% can be brought to weapons grade inside of 3 to 4 weeks. And let me say this, because I forgot this small little detail. In that first meeting, both the Iranian negotiators said to us directly, with no shame, that they controlled 460 kilograms of 60%, and they're aware that that could make 11 nuclear bombs, and that was the beginning of their negotiating stance. So they were proud of it. They were proud that they had evaded all sorts of oversight protocols to get to a place where they could deliver 11 nuclear bombs.
What I wouldn't do to be a fly on the wall in that room, because, Steve, You're a negotiator. You've run the most successful businesses, built some of the most beautiful golf courses. It defies all logic and reason for them to sit there as if Midnight Hammer never happened and dictate to you that the one thing that President Trump insisted on, they can't get a nuclear weapon, they're going to go forward anyway. How stupid are they? Were they?
Well,
they're done. They're gone now.
Well, it was pretty silly, but they thought they could strong-arm us. You know, President Trump sent me and Jared there to really determine on his behalf whether they were serious about doing a deal that addressed his objectives, which are elimination of their missile program, elimination of their advocacy and support for proxies, which is destabilizing the entire Middle East, elimination of their Navy so we can have freedom of the seas and not be threatened with the shutdown of the Gulf of Hormuz, and finally, no nuclear enrichment that can get them to weapons grade, which means no nuclear bomb. And we went in there and tried to make a fair deal with them, and it was very, very clear that it was going to be impossible, probably by the end of the second meeting. But we then went back for the third meeting just to give it the last college try. And of course, they thought they wanted us to report positivity. It was not positive, that meeting.
Oh, Steve Witkoff, I know you've been flying all over the globe, and you know, on your own dime. I think people do need to know that. If you don't mind me telling people, serving your country, serving the president, doing your best to bring peace to the world. They brought this action on themselves. You gave them every opportunity to take the exit ramp off. They decided not to. But we really appreciate you sharing all that with us. Steve Witkoff, Middle East Envoy. Thank you, sir. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.